Okay, I know I promised to do a 10-year anniversary I got it wrong for this steaming pile of crap, but the old review couldn't have been that bad, right?
What is up, YouTube? It's John from Album Review TV, and I'm here to talk about the new 303. Am I doing that? 303?
Okay, I think I'd like to officially cancel myself, please. Hey neighbor, welcome back to ARTV. My name is John, and it's time for another glorious episode of I Got It Wrong, the series where I admit fault, bias, or bad judgment in a past review and give an updated take that actually reflects how I feel. I've been absolutely dreading this one because today, June 29th, 2020, this marks 10 years since the release of 303's dreadful third album, Streets of Gold. And if you're sitting there thinking to yourself, who the hell are 303? Well, my friend, I hope you're sitting down, because we're about to take a one-way ticket to Crunkcore Cringe Town. 303 were one of the biggest superstar groups to elevate to the mainstream after gaining traction on the social network MySpace. Why, you ask me? Because everyone, including me listening to them, thought they were hard as fuck, dude. Like, you were so edgy if you were bumping them, Hollywood Undead, Black Veil Brides, Icy Stars. Oh man, I can see the flashing profile banners and scene cut hair just from looking at the album cover.
This is a great album from 303, and never mind what haters say.
God bless my younger soul, I was really out there trying so hard to be cool on YouTube. But the way I talk in this video and much of my other early content is not even me. Like, what am I doing here? Why are all of my words falling from my mouth like tiny anchors that are slowly pulling me into a grave of cringe that I can probably never come back from?
If you have an iPod or an iPod Touch, I'm going to put a link to Tap Tap Revenge, the app for the iPod. Let's go down all the way to the bottom, and you'll see that I have Déjà Vu, Don't Trust Me, the explicit version of course, My First Kiss, and Starstruck.
Oh yeah, did I mention that the entire album review is only 2 minutes long and 50% of it is spent advertising the app Tap Tap Revenge 3? You literally can't make this shit up. I hadn't even watched this review in like 5 years, and you just kind of forget just how bad things can go, but I literally sit there telling people to not only torrent the 303 album for free, I fucking went off about how people should download this game that I loved and I wasn't even sponsored. I ended the review by ranting about Kesha and Waste Time Chasing Cars, an old YouTuber that made a 303 lip sync video for Don't Trust Me, and then he came out and said that he didn't like the new album, and then I called him a hater and said that his channel sucked? Oh my god, make it stop!
Oh, 303 isn't the same anymore. Even Mac from Waste Time Chasing Cars said that. Well, you know what, Mac? Screw you.
This ends now. I'm officially setting the record straight, as this review is literally one of the worst things that I've ever done in my entire life. It's a stain that most don't even know about, but now that I've exposed my past idiocy, I'm cutting down anything in my path, and that means you, Sean, Nat, and literally anything or anyone involved with this trash-ass dumpster band. Crunkcore and Autotune were two of 303's biggest calling cards. Even a blind dog with no sense of smell could pick up their scent from a mile away, since they pretty much unapologetically throw their ignorance in your face at any given corner. Streets of Gold was quite different from their breakout album Want, since not only did it deviate to a more mainstream sound and cut out some of their wildest antics, they also didn't have any good songs on the follow-up. I mean, at least Don't Trust Me still slaps. Revisiting Streets of Gold is like reliving the worst hangover of your life and being forced to stay awake and not sleep it off. No one wants to willingly put themselves through that, do they? Hi there, Deathwitch McGee. Apparently I do, considering I wasted 88 motherfucking minutes of my life playing this album twice. Why in the name of all that is holy is this album 44 minutes long and 14 tracks? They were out of ideas by track 3! Let me paint a picture and see if I can give you a general idea. The year is 2010, meaning the club craze and poorly used autotune is more unavoidable than the coronavirus. These two douched-up goobers 303 decide to sign to a major label deal and start working with producers like Benny Blanco, Greg Kurstin, and Dr. Luke, which would sadly explain how they got the Kesha feature. Rewind just a second, how in the fuck did Greg Kurstin, a renowned producer who worked with the likes of Adele and the Foo Fighters, get in the studio with this stank pile? The vocal layering sounds like ass toast, the lyrics sound unbelievably dated and creepy, and the electronic programming is so cheap, it's like buying a shoe from Dollar Tree and expecting it to last an entire marathon. The difference a decade makes is absolutely mind-boggling as I see myself going from a massive 303 defender, wow, what a hill to die on, to someone who can barely stomach an entire listen. Their debauchery, douchebaggery, and all-around everything is sex attitude should have been left in the dust years ago, yet they're still playing shows. I mean, they played a show in March of this year to a sold-out crowd in me! Run far away, because I know you're going to want to check it out from morbid curiosity, but I'm asking you kindly to take my word on this one if you've never heard it. All of my fellow neighbors that are former addicts of 303, tread lightly, because revisiting Streets of Gold, it might just unlock a part of your brain you kept under lock and key for nearly a decade. It's not worth it, friend. Stay sober. The duo waste the entire runtime of the album spitting cliches about being young and stupid, wrecking bitches, downing shots, being in full control. God, it's just so overly aggressive with its terrible punchlines, it can't even hold it together for a single decent song. The opening instrumental is bearable, but that might literally just be due to the fact that they're barely on it outside of saying their own names a few times. I have no idea why I used to find that so badass.
The album starts off with Beaumont, an instrumental song, and it's one of the best in my opinion.
Not only do they flex their extremely limited vocabulary on the most braggadocious cuts that make you want to throw a wine cork down your ear canal, they also attempt... I almost can't even say it. They do ballads that make me want to put a stick of dynamite in my speakers and not even walk away for the explosion. I almost deserve it for having another round with R.I.P, this faux heartstring-tugging breakup song that's about as basic as they get, until we run into I'm Not the One, which is, you know what? Roll the next title card because I've got a lot to say here. I'm Not the One is white knighting to the nth degree as they set themselves up as the hero that would never hurt you, girl. Oh, all of my exes, they left me for reasons that I can't disclose, but I'm just a broken soul that's out here looking for pussy. I mean love. I'm looking for love. Bitch, you're not sly with that BS. And what is it with some of these lyrics? He sings you're way too young to be broken at the start of the second verse. Like, what is this, some sort of young adult novel where everything's gonna be magically be made okay by 303? Let me tell you something. If you're looking to Sean and Nat from this band for comfort, then you are past the point of saving, and I'm not even throwing the life raft. So we had the unbearable pair of ballads with glossy keys and sleazy threes, but they're honestly forgivable compared to some of the other abominations they cooked up. For example, House Party might just be the dumbest fucking song I've ever heard in my entire life, at least for ones that were trying to be taken somewhat seriously. The entire track is just a list of things that they're gonna do at a house party, and yelling things like, fuck the DJ, and I don't wanna go to the club, I'm gonna stay and party at home. It's songs like this that grab my rose-colored nostalgic glasses and stomp them on the ground like a battered piñata. We then wade cautiously through the acid-filled waters of We Are Young, which manages to say absolutely nothing over the course of 3 minutes, and ironically also I Know How to Say, which sounds like a bad 80s road trip movie stuffed with flexing about how much they can score with women in any country they want, and Déjà Vu, a song featuring a farting synth line and ear-piercing backing vocals that really make me question my sanity. I haven't even really had the chance to talk about the giant collab that happened on this record, cause my girl Kesha popped up from My First Kiss, and let me tell you, Kesha was massive in 2010, so this unfortunately boosted them up the charts and gave them a top 10 hit on the top 100. Simpler times they were, but bad this song is. Stop talking like Yoda, John. Rarely do you see a group so actively attempt to grind down your nerves, just twisting them up with their piss-poor attempts at rapping that I once considered to be god tier, not only on My First Kiss, but on a song that I'm afraid to even admit is one of my favorites back in the day, I Could Do Anything. This takes me back, and not in some sort of fairy tale type of daydream way, more of a dump down the trash chute and can't get out of my own head feeling that's brought back every time I hear 303 rapping about how they can spread their album like an STD you got back in high school. When it's not overwhelming your senses by attacking from all sides, it's just flat out boring, a shell of what they think people want to hear them say. It's quite clear that some industry executives probably nudged them in a certain direction and wanted them to focus in on the party zone atmosphere they try so desperately to create, but if I ever walked into a party where they're throwing down anything like this, it's 1 foot in the door and a swift 180 exit back home. I wanted this to be better. I really truly did, but it's just fucking not. If it hadn't held up like a Fisher-Price house in a tornado, maybe I wouldn't have had to put myself on blast so hard for all the horrendous things I said, but it's a truly awful product of its time that I once rated, well, watch it for yourself.
As for a rating on the album, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 93% because this is a great album from 303.
93%? No! No, in what world? How? I gave zero criticisms or even thoughts about it. I spent the entire video ranting about 303 haters, advertised a game I wasn't even paid to do because I had like 5 subscribers. This genuinely might be my worst video of all time. Even though my mind doesn't totally hate the melody of something like Double Vision, I mean, it is catchy, and the opening instrumental track Beaumont isn't unlistenable, those aren't enough of a positive to save this record from a pitfall straight to hell. From 93% in 2010 to a 0 10 years later. Look, it's right there in the album cover. My hands are clean and I've done my civil duty. Crucifying an old 303 album on a nice summer day, my favorite pastime. Do you guys have any memories with this album or even this band? I was front row at their concert in 2010, and as much as I'd like to have my money back now, I've grown up and I'm grateful for that. See the last episode of I Got It Wrong by tapping here, or hit this link to see an album I love. More episodes of this series coming soon. Leave a like, and thank you for watching.